The second point here we have is the interpretation. Okay, what is meant by interpretation? So interpretation means that this particular language, the Python language, is considered as an interpreted language. Okay, now what is the difference? Like what we have to understand when I say the interpretation, interpreted language? Basically, you can say it like okay, or let me compare the Python with the Java. Okay, now in the case of Java, okay, in the case of Java, what we say is Java is a compiled based language. Okay, in case of Java we say that Java is a compiled based language. What does it mean? That Java is like, if you have written the Java code, then you need to execute, or you need to, in the case of execution of the Java code, you need to compile the code first, and then you can see the output of it. Okay, but the same case is not with the Python. Okay, let's say you have written the Python code, so simply you just go and try to run the Python script, and then you are ready. Like you can just directly go and run your Python scripts. Okay, so line by line your code execution will happen. That happen in case of the Python. Okay, but same is not valid for the Java. Okay, in the case of Java we need to compile the code first, and then only we can execute it. Okay, in case of Python it is a straightforward, it is an interpreted based language, so you just need to write the code, and then the execution can just happen, okay, directly. Then the next thing you have here, the dynamically type. Okay, you have the case here. The next feature we have is what? The dynamically type. What does it mean? That Python is a dynamically type, allowing flexibility in the variable types. Okay, what does it mean? So let me explain to you. So let me open the paint. Okay, you can consider, okay, like here the Python is what? It's a dynamically type. Means what? Let's say in any language you declare variable a is equal to 10. Okay, now this is the way that we declare the variables in the case of Python. Okay, now what is the meaning of that? So a is something looks like a value, that is an integer, which is getting assigned as a variable to the a. Okay, but a is what? It's an integer. Okay, now here in this case a is what? It is having the integer type. Okay, it's an integer value we have. So we don't have to we don't have to tell to the Python that this is the integer. Okay, it assume by default that a is what? It is nothing but it's an integer. Okay, or 10 is what? It's a number, so it will consider it as an integer. Okay, like that we can have, let's say b is equal to 5.5 if I write. Okay, now here in this case, like it is a float value, right? It's a float value, so b understand, or Python understand that dynamically. Okay, or let's say here after that the next line I wrote that a is equal to hello. Okay, so what will happen? Now a is become string. Okay, a is become string. So here in all of these cases we don't have to explicitly mention that what is the type of the variable. Okay, like the same case we have to do it in the Java. Okay, we type something like, let's say int a is equal to 10. Okay, like this is the way that we declare the variable. But here in this case of the Python, we don't have to tell to the Python that this is the integer, this is a float, this is a string. Okay, it will automatically understand, and like that we can say it like a dynamically typed. Okay, then the next thing is what? Next feature we have is the extensive standard library. Okay, it comes with a very vast standard library for a diverse functionalities. Okay, and now the community and the ecosystem is, we have very big community, large community we have, supporting the very third-party libraries. It does support. Okay, and then the frameworks also it does support a lot. So these are the features we get. Okay, now the Python also works, or it does work on the cross platform. What does it mean? That it is not the platform dependent. Okay, it is a platform independent. Okay, now what does it mean? Let's say, let me give you example. Let's say that here you have one system. Okay, here you have one system. This is the, let's say this is the Windows system you have, and here you have written some script. Okay, here on the Windows system you have written some script. Now let's say on the later stage you have one server. Okay, just assume this is the Windows PC you have, so the operating system on this PC is Windows. Here you have written some script. Okay, in later stage you have other PC or let's say server. Okay, and then on this server we have the Linux as the operating system. Okay, we have the Linux as the operating system. So can we just take the same script and run it over here? So yes, we can, right? So what we are saying here is that the script is platform independent. It is not dependent on which operating system we are using. Okay, so we can simply go and execute the script. Okay, so that is what it is saying. That is we can run the script on the cross platform. Means what? The code is platform independent, running seamlessly on various operating system. Okay, so that is a possibility here we have. Then let's talk about little bit history. So the early year, like 1989. Okay, in December 1999, this person, that is a Guido van Rossum. Okay, like he's a Dutch programmer who started working on a successor to the ABC programming language. And in 1991 he the Python 0.9.0. Okay, this is the first official release happened, and then this was released in February 1991. Okay, and in it was having few of the many key features. Okay, so, those are still part of the Python. Okay, so that's a great thing, right? And then in later stage the Python 2 and Python 3 version got released. Okay, and here you can see in 2000 Python 2 was released, and then like here they introduced the comprehension and the garbage collection. A lot of things they introduced. Okay, and in 2008 a lot of design flow, and then they just revised the language. Okay, this was the major release. Okay, it was a major release, and this is designed to rectify fundamental design flaws and improve the code consistency. For that purpose the Python 3 was released. Okay, and then after that, okay, like Python 2 got stopped. Okay, Python 2 got stopped here at the Python 2 is having the like the community had stopped to support the Python after 2020. Okay, so now the only Python 3 is what we use. Okay, we can use the Python 2. Okay, there is no issue. The thing is that the community is not supporting it anymore for further development. Okay, so from the security perspective it is always better to use the Python 3, and this is the one that we gonna learn. All right, so Python 3 is something that we will be learning. Now let's talk about the Python use cases. Okay, so Python has a lot of use cases. Okay, so it is not something the language which is in one particular field. Okay, Python is a very popular language, and you can have so many use cases so let's talk about those use cases. Okay, so the very first use case here you have is the web development. Okay, so let's say what is mean by web development. Let's suppose that you are interested to create something, the web application, right? What is mean by web application? So you can just think about the you are creating any particular application which supposed to work on the any browser. Okay, so that you can say those application, you can say it as a Python as a web application, right? So Python has a framework. Okay, Python has a framework. So Python has a popular web frameworks like a Django and the Flask, which can work on the which can be we can use for development of the scalable and dynamic web application. Okay, then this is the one field in which you can use the Python. The other case could be the data science and the analytics. Okay, now this is the like when it comes to data science and analytics. Okay, this is like a very huge field, and Python is the, you can say, like one of the very popular language that we use it in that particular field. Okay, or in fact you can also say Python is the only language, because Python has lot of popularity in the case of the data science and analytics. Okay, you can just see here libraries. The Python is a go-to language for data analysis and manipulation, like and with the libraries like the NumPy, Pandas, and then the Matplotlib. Then we have the other frameworks such as the Jupyter Notebook and Spider, which are also widely used for the interacting data exploration and the analysis. So this is another use case we have. Okay, then the third use case we have, that is a machine learning, and in an artificial intelligence we have this the third use case. So here we have the libraries. Okay, we have the libraries which is Python's extensive ML libraries, including the TensorFlow, PyTorch, are the instrumental in building and training the machine learning models. And frameworks we have scikit-learn simplifies machine learning task with the efficient tool for data mining and data analysis. Okay, so these are the few of the use cases we have. Then apart from that, we have for in the scientific computing, okay, libraries. We have those are Python is widely used in the scientific research and the engineering approaches with the libraries like sci-fi, providing tools for scientific computing. Then if I talk about like for what purpose we will be using Python, so it's all about the automation and scripting. So there, because of its versatility, the Python simplicity and the reliability make it an excellent choice for automating the repetitive task and writing the script. Okay, so this is like the thing which we will be learning. Okay, it does falls under this particular use case category. Okay, then we can use the Python for desktop GUI applications. Okay, so toolkits libraries such as the TK inter, then PyQt enables the creation of the desktop graphical user interface. Okay, so those kind of those level of those kind of applications also we can create it. Okay, now let's talk about the Python installation. So Python installation is something that I'm hoping you guys to be do it by your own. So here is the instruction. Okay, now just go to the below link. Okay, so this particular link, just go to that particular link, and then there you get the like this is a link where you should find downloads for all the operating system. So depending on which particular operating system you are using, just go in and download the latest version of the Python. Okay, and it's gonna be the Python 3 series version. So just download the appropriate version and here and just install it. Okay, installation of the Python is also very easy. So I just downloaded the file and while just say next. Okay, it's a very simple download thing. Okay, so you can do it by your own and just do the Python installation. Okay, so this is something you guys have to do it. So once your Python installation is done, okay, then further we can go and start writing our first program. So that's the next thing we will be doing. So here you can see the first program, and for that purpose, what are things like how you will be doing exactly. So we need to also have the VS Code tool. Okay, VS Code, what is this tool is for? So this tool particularly we required for writing the code. Okay, so we will be using one VS Code tool for writing the code, and Python is something you have to install it separately. Okay, so VS Code tool, if you don't have it, just get that tool. Okay, so what exactly steps you will be following to create your own first program? Okay, so here you can just think about that here you can just think about to write. Okay, so just assume this is what your PC is, this is your personal computer. On top of that you will install the VS Code. Okay, now how to install VS Code? Just open any browser, search for VS Code download, and then it's supposed to take you to the official documentation, and then from there just download it. Again, a very easy process, so that's the reason I'll not be talking much about it. Just have this VS Code installation within your PC, and next thing you'll be also installing the Python. Okay, once both of these things installed, okay, VS Code and Python installation is done, then here onwards you can start writing your programs, and then you can start creating or writing your all the programs. Okay, so let's go ahead and then start it. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so how we can do it? So just open the VS Code first of all tool. Okay, so once you're done with the VS Code, like you just search for VS Code. So here you can see Visual Studio Code. This is a particular tool in which we will be writing the code. Okay, so just open this particular tool. So just open this software, and then you're supposed to get something very similar interface. Now what next thing you have to do? You will be creating one folder where you will be writing all programs. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so I'll click on the open folder, then here I'll click on the desktop. Here we will create one folder. Okay, so let me say a new folder. I'll give the name as the Python script. Okay, I'll give some new name to it, that's a Python script, and inside this folder we will be writing the scripts. Okay, so let me say select folder, and yes, we're done. Okay, now here in this particular folder, okay, here in this particular folder we will be writing the scripts. Okay, we'll be writing the script. So let's get started with writing the script. Now to write the script, we can click on here. Okay, so this is the icon where we can click. So for creation of the new file, you can just click here, and what name you would like to give to your Python script. Okay, so that particular name you can give. This is completely as per your choice. Okay, just okay, so let me just give the name as, let's say, first program. Okay, so this is the name that I'll be giving. So let me say first program, and I will give the extension, that is a .py. Okay, so always remember that whenever you will be writing the program, okay, whenever you will be writing the program, so you can give any name to that particular program. Just make sure that you will be giving the extension of the Python program is the .py. So yes, here we have given, and I'll press enter, and you can see like VS Code is also recognizing this particular script is like a Python script. Okay, and here we can start writing the script, like whatever you have to write. Okay, you can start writing the script. So let's write it. Okay, so let's write something. Maybe as this is the very first program we are writing. Okay, as this is the very first program we are writing, we'll simply print the hello world message. Okay, now how we can print the hello world message in the Python? Okay, it's very easy. So just write a print. Okay, now print is what? Print is the function. Print is a function in the Python, and what does print function does? So it simply print whatever you are giving to it. Okay, so you can write the print, just say a double like bracket, closing and ending. Okay, and then here inside that I can provide one string which is saying like a hello world. Okay, so we are saying that hello world, this is the program that we are writing. Okay, and I will save this particular file by pressing the Ctrl S. Okay, we are done with the saving. Now next thing what we have to do, we have to run, or we have to execute this particular program. Now how we can do that one? So you can just click here, that is a view option. Inside this view we get one option, that is terminal. Okay, so I'll open the terminal, and here we can start executing the program. Now I'm already inside this Python script. Okay, I'm already inside this Python script, and here one by one, we can execute the program that whichever we wish to. Okay, so here how we can execute the program? So you can type, let's say, Python. Okay, so this is the Python is that program, and here I need to mention the file name. Okay, what is the file name we have? So it's a first program, right? So I'll maybe type it, and I'll press tab. Okay, here you can see it got auto completed, and with the help of this PowerShell, okay, I'll execute this particular program. So I'll press simply enter here. Okay, you can see here I got the message hello world. So it is running as expected, that whatever we have thought, as per that it is getting executed. So we are writing print function, and within this function I'm saying hello world. Okay, so it simply printed the message, that is hello world. So great, we are done with our first program execution. At this point we are done with our first program execution, and now here onwards we can start writing the program files. Okay, here you can click on this again, new file. I can give some name, let's say second program, third program, like that, and then here we can write all, like whatever the scripts in which you have to write. Okay, you can write, and this is the way that we can execute. Okay, so I hope here at this point you might have understood how we can write the program. Okay, and then how we can execute it. Okay, so that's something here we wanted to understand. Now I have already written few of the programs. Okay, for to save the time. Okay, so we don't have to I don't want to waste the time on writing the program. Okay, so that's the reason I have already created so many files in which I have already written the program. So one by one we will write it. Okay, like we will try to understand like how those programs, and then here I have written. Okay, you guys can like type or here the program, or else I'll be providing all of the script in a GitHub also. So from there you can just download it, and then you can also do the practice the way I'm doing it. Okay, great. So here at this point, let me switch my window. Okay, and here I have written already the programs. Okay, so here you can see that this is the first program. Here we have it. Okay, and here we are done with the Python execution, or we are done with this particular execution of the program, like the very similar one we have executed, hello world. Let me just show it very quickly here also. So you can see here terminal is already open, right? So I can type, let's say, Python, and then maybe it's a 01 number that we have given here, 01 first program, right? 01 underscore first program.py. So I'll press tab, okay, and if I enter, you can see hello world got executed. Apart from that, I have like done some initialization of the variable. Okay, so this is like a boolean type we have, and then okay, we'll talk about this. Okay, type of data types is a topic that we have to talk. There we will be talking about this. Okay, so here we are done with the very first program execution. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing. Okay, so this is about the first program. Then the next thing here we have to understand is the Python keywords. Okay, the next thing here we have to talk about the Python keywords. So you can see that Python has a set of reserved keywords, okay, that have special meaning, and they cannot be used as an identifier. Okay, what I mean to say here is that these are the few of the keywords we have. Okay, so you can just read this keyword list. Okay, it's a false, class, finally, is, return, none, continue, for, lambda, try, true. Okay, like this is, you can just, this list goes on. Okay, you can note it down. So these are the keywords we have. Okay, these are the keywords we have. Now why we need to understand like these are the keyword? Because you cannot use them as you can like a function name or variable name. Okay, so let's say when I gave you the example at start. Okay, so here I gave you an example. Let's say we can declare the variable a is equal to 10, right? So a is what? It's a any random name we have, and we can declare the variable like this. Okay, but you cannot do it like this way. Okay, so here we have the keyword, right? Here we have the keyword. Let's say the class is some keyword, so you cannot declare the variable like this. Okay, or you cannot declare the variable like, let's say class is equal to 10. Okay, you can take any name here. Okay, apart from this keyword, you can take any name. That would be completely your choice what name you would like to have, but except these words. Okay, except these words. So here just note down these words, because you cannot take the words from this particular list. Apart from that, whichever the keywords you want to use, you can go and use it. So that is what here we have written. So we cannot use them as a variable names or the function names. Okay, you cannot use any one of those. Apart from that, you can use it whichever you wish to use. Then these words are case sensitive. Okay, meaning that true is different from the true. Okay, so let's say here T is capital. Okay, anywhere you should find here the true keyword. Okay, here you can see that true is what? T is capital, right? So maybe true is something that you cannot use, but the small t, true, you can use it. So because that's not a keyword. Okay, so those are the case sensitive. So yeah, even if you are, so let's say here false, F is capital. Okay, class, all letters are small. Okay, so when you're using this keyword, okay, when you're using this keyword, so let's say when actually you're writing or declaring class, during that time, can you use the C capital and then class like that, or all caps later? No. Okay, so these are the case sensitive keywords you have. So the whichever they are, okay, the same way you have to consider. It is important to note that you should avoid using this word as identifier in your Python programs to prevent conflict and ensure proper functionality. Okay, so this is what it is saying. So that is what here we are saying. Okay, so if I just show you, okay, as a demonstration, that can we use the keyword. Okay, so here you can see I'm having some program written here. Let's say the keyword are not allowed to use. Okay, so here continuous keyword we have. Okay, you can see here the continuous some keyword we have. So let me try to execute this particular program, which is 02. Okay, which is a var test. Okay, and here at this point I'm just like declaring name is equal to okay, and there is nothing written. Okay, now here in this program, name is equal to okay we have written, there is nothing, so nothing to print, nothing to do anything. So that's the reason. Okay, we'll go and simply execute this particular Python script. Okay, so here this is the second script we have, so which is var test, and I'll execute this particular script. You can see the script got executed. Okay, there's nothing to print. That's the reason here we don't see any output, but that's fine. Okay, there is no error or anything like that. Okay, let me do it. Let me just remove this hash mark, and now here at this point you can see the VS Code itself is telling me this is something we cannot use. Okay, just see, I just hover my mouse there. Okay, and you can see that I'm getting some warning. Continue can only be within the loop. Okay, so I cannot use it like a variable like this way. So continue is a keyword that we can use it in a loop. Okay, so we will learn that one. Continue is something that we're gonna learn in the series itself. But at this point you can see I'm getting some error. Okay, and if I try to run this particular script, okay, you can see this is a syntax error. Okay, this is an invalid syntax. Why? Because this keyword we cannot use as a variable name. Let's say because here name is equal to okay, you just declare that there is no problem. Okay, but when you are trying to do with the same for the continue is what? It's a keyword. Continue is what? It's a keyword, and that's the reason you cannot use it. Alright, I hope you guys might have understood. And same goes for break also. Okay, let's suppose here if I put the hash, okay, you can see that error has gone, and a break is also one of the keyword we have. Okay, so if I try to do the same thing here, okay, you can see the error has occurred again, and even if I try to execute, syntax error is there, right? So there are few of the keywords which you cannot declare as a variable name and then function name. So these are the few keywords which you have to keep in mind. All right, let's go ahead. So the next thing you have here is the Python variable. Okay, the next thing here you have is the Python variable. So in a Python variable is a symbolic name or identifier that refers to a value. Variables are used to store and manipulate data in the programs. Here are some key points about the Python variable. Okay, like here you can like, what is variable? Okay, I hope you guys might be already understand this one. Like we can just declare any variable like this way. Okay, a is equal to 10. What does it mean? The 10 is something, the value which we are assigning it. Okay, in later stage, let's say we have to manipulate the value of a. Okay, we can say a is equal to 20, like that. This is the variable, right? Variable is like we are giving some identifier to make it like to understand within the program. For that purpose we can use the variables, and here you can see the example, right? My variable is equal to 10. So it's a very easy thing to declare your variable. You can create a variable by assigning value by just equal sign, right? So this is the way that we can declare the variable. And here in this particular example you can see the name is equal to okay is something that we have declared. All right, like this is the way that we can just declare. Now the key points here we need to understand is what? Variable name can consist of the letters. Okay, you can have the letters, number, whatever, underscore and everything that you can mention here. Okay, like here example is name is equal to okay, let's say name 2, name 3, like that you wish to give. Okay, so let's say name 2 is equal to 5. Okay, so this could be your one of the variable, so you can just mention anything, but variable's name cannot start with a number. Okay, so this is the one of the thing also you have to remember. So here you can see that if I try to say the 2 name, okay, name 2 is fine, but 2 name, okay, it cannot start with the number. Okay, and this is the, like, it's just like throwing an error. Okay, if I save this one, okay, if I try to run the program, you can see we got the syntax error again. Okay, because we cannot use or we cannot start the variable name with this way. Okay, if I remove, you can see that error has gone. So you can use the number in middle, at last, okay, whichever the way you want, but you cannot start the variable name with the number. So that's something we need to keep in mind. All right, then Python is a case sensitive. So my variable and this capital my variable, okay, these are the two different things. And then here you can see the example, right? So name, small name, and here when I see it compare like the first letter is capital. Okay, in this case, so these are like a two different variable. This is the different variable and this is another variable. Okay, so these are the two different variable we have. All right, great thing. Okay, next thing is what we have to talk about, the data types. Okay, let's talk about the data types. So Python supports several built-in data types that are used to represent different kind of data in a program. Here are some of the commonly used data types in Python. Okay, first one is the numeric type. Okay, like what could be the example you can have? You can have something, let's say integer. Okay, whole numbers without decimal point, like example like any number, right? So 1 2 3 minus 10 1000 42. Okay, these are the examples you have. So integer is like just a int. Okay, that is represented by the int as a abbreviation. And here you can say that whole numbers without a decimal point, we say it is a integer. Okay, so any example like 1 to 10, or any number, basically it would, even if it is negative, okay, that will be considered as a integer. Okay, then you have a other type of the variable, that is the floating. Okay, now what is the floating? You have floating means that whenever we have any variable with the decimal point in it, okay, in that case we say those variables are the float. Okay, so 3.14, okay, 5.5, 2.0, anything which is having some decimal, okay, in between, like here you can see. So those numbers we say it as a float numbers. Okay, so integer is like without decimal, and float is when you have some number with some decimal point in it. So those variable we say it as a float. Okay, third example you have is a complex one. Complex is like when you're not able to like consider whether it is integer or whether it is a decimal. Okay, in middle. Okay, so you say it as a like a it is like a complex. Okay, so these are the three examples you can have for the variable types, and let me show you the example for that. Okay, so maybe here I can show you this one. Okay, so here you can see that a is equal to 7, which is written. Okay, now we know this is the complete whole number, so it's a 7. Then we have the decimal point in between 3.8. Okay, like this is the decimal. Okay, so this is a float type we have, and last one we have as like a 5j. Okay, it's a complex, we don't know what is the whether it is a integer or whether it is the decimal point, like a float. Okay, so this is like how we can, and now we can print the type of the variable. Okay, we can print the type of the variable. So here you can see that print is what, it's a function. Okay, and then within that we can have the type is we can check with the type keyword, you can check the type of the variable. Okay, so type is another function, okay, in which you can see that if you are interested to see the type of the variable a, you can pass it like this way, that print, then the bracket. Okay, under that we are passing the type a. Okay, like this. Okay, so we say print is that we are interested to print the type of the variable, so you will open the bracket, you will pass type. Okay, now within that what is the what you are interested to like check. Okay, so type of the variable, let's say a. Okay, and like that you can print. So this supposed to print the type of this variable. Okay, like a is you are passing here, so it's supposed to print a type of this variable a. And here if I just execute this work, okay, so what I am expecting the output, so this is the integer. Okay, for a I am expecting to have the output integer, for b it is float. Okay, and for c it is complex. Okay, let's see. So here I'll execute this particular program, which is a 03. Okay, so I'll say Python and 03. I'll press tab, and if I press enter, you will notice that here you can see the output. Class is integer, for a is integer we found, then for here we can see the float and the complex. Okay, so these are the three data types we can have. Okay, let's go ahead and discuss further. So again, further we have a other data type is the text type. Okay, and then which is the string. Okay, now string is very well known data type we have, and string is nothing but, okay, within the string you can pass the number also. Okay, like so whenever you put the quote marks, okay, whenever you put the quote marks around anything, so those things we consider as a string. Okay, now quotes doesn't mean like single quote or double quote, any type of quotes you put. Okay, so those will be considered as the string. Okay, so here if I show you the example, okay, that you can see here that this is the example we have. So let's say name is equal to something I am declaring. Okay, that's Amol Chete. So here I am doing the variable declaration Amol Chete, and inside that if I print the type of this name, okay, so we will check it. Okay, we'll check it, what is the type of the variable here we have. So if I check, or if I just run this particular program, which is a 04 type check string. So if I run this particular program, so and then press enter, okay, we got some error. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake. Okay, so it's a type check string, right? So I didn't press tab. Okay, so it's a 04, press tab. So type check string, this is what the program is. Okay, let me press enter, and here you can see, okay, the very first thing I'm trying to print it. Okay, you can check the first thing, it's a string is what it is getting printed, right? So the type of the variable is here we have a string. Okay, next thing, you can also check the length of the string like this way, that is the print len, and then you're passing the variable name, that's a name here. Okay, so print and then length, if so that's supposed to print the count, how big that letters you have there. Okay, so if I count here, like Amol is like having 4 characters, then fifth is space. Okay, and then here fifth, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So in total these are the 10 things we have. Okay, so you can see the count is what, it's a 10. So by any chance that, let's say somebody told you to print the number of the characters, so you can use this function, that is length. Okay, and with the help of length, it's gonna return the number of items. Okay, like the number of the, how many characters we have over there. Okay, great. Then you can have few more examples. So let's suppose here, if I just uncomment this one, and if I just uncomment this one, so here you can see that a is equal to, we have written something like a this is the multi-line program. Okay, like here I have kept some space, like I have written it to the multiple lines, right? So we can we just print the result. Let's try to print this particular result. So here I have written this is the multi-line string 1. Okay, and we are passing this variable here, print a. Let's try to print it. So here if I go and try to print it, you can see this got printed as it is. Okay, so even if we are passing the multi-line string, so multi-line string will get print as it is. So that's something here we can demonstrate, right? So let me comment it and we'll go for the next example. So here again the same thing, either you pass this thing with a single line or double line. Okay, so let me uncomment and let me execute this particular program. Okay, here you can see the same way, this is the multi-line string 2. Okay, here you can see the it also got printed as exactly as expected. So there is no difference whether you pass it via the single quote or double quote. Okay, it is not making any difference as such. Okay, great. Then here we have one more function that we can pass it. Okay, format a variable in the string. Okay, so you can see here example, let's say age is equal to 28, it's something variable we are declared. Okay, and here okay, I'll explain you with the execution of this program. This is a little interesting one. Okay, so what is happening here, let's just, so age is equal to 28 is something that variable you declared. Okay, now what is happening here, that you are passing here. Okay, you are passing here the my name is Amol, and I am, let's say this is the variable that we have to place it. Okay, so whenever we have to pass any variable like this, okay, you can call this as a placeholder. Okay, so these two curly braces are what, these are nothing but this is we called as a placeholder, and we can insert a value by putting here with the format method. So how we can do that one, so you just say print. Okay, then to whichever the variable we have to insert that particular variable, so just say txt. Okay, here a txt is what variable we have, and within that we have this string, and this is the placeholder we have. Okay, so let's say here we wish to pass this particular variable, so just say txt dot format. Okay, now what the format does, so format is basically gonna insert. Okay, format will be basically insert the value. Okay, that here you are passing your value, right? So here you are passing this age value here, so here this 28 value will be taken here, or in fact instead of this age you can write the 28 word. Okay, like 28 integer. So this is gonna simply put it is just gonna find the placeholder, it's gonna just find a placeholder. So here we have a placeholder, right, double braces. So at this place this 28 value will get simply inserted. And let me just show you the output of this program. So if I go and execute this program, you can see my name is Amol and I am 28, right? So this particular program got executed. So 28 is the variable. Okay, 28 is the variable which like age is the variable which is having the value as 28. So age is something that we pass it here, or even if you would have written the 28, it would have shown the same output. Okay, so whatever here you write, okay, either it's a variable or whether it is, okay, that simply will get placed here, and this is the placeholder you have. Okay, let's see one more example here. So I'll just simply comment this one, and let's see one more example. Okay, so here we have a quantity, and okay, let me uncomment it. Let me uncomment it, and then we'll talk about this particular program. So here I'm declaring few of the variable. Let's say quantity is equal to 14, item number is equal to 456, and price is something we are declaring as a 199.95. okay, now here these are the like this is line what I'm writing. I want, then placeholder, okay, then pieces of item, placeholder for this many dollars. Okay, so this is a string, okay, this is a string, and in between I have kept few of the placeholder. Now we need to use the format method to insert those values. Okay, so we can do something like this. So we can say print, okay, now this is the variable you have, that's a my order dot format you will write, and then you're gonna mention, so this is a quantity. Okay, you can just mention the quantity. Okay, what is quantity? It's a 14, right? So you will say 14, then item number 456. Okay, so that's something will get filled up here, and price is something will get filled up here. Okay, so this is a way that we will be executing of this program. So in the sequence, that which sequence you are passing, okay, what sequence you are passing, that really matters here. Okay, so here you can see that I have passed the quantity, okay, first. So quantity will get filled up here in the first placeholder, then item number in the second, okay, and then price in the third. Okay, like that you now what you're supposed to get, the answer is I want, okay, quantity 14, I want 14 quantity pieces of item 456 for $199.95, right? So this is the way that it should print. Let's confirm. Okay, I'll just save this one, I'll execute this program again. Okay, and here you can see I want 14 pieces of item 456 for $199.95. okay, exactly the way we want, we have got the output, right? So great. Now here I just want to show you that sequence does matter. Okay, let's suppose if I change the frame of the sentence. Okay, I'll just like comment this one, and then I just want to show you that does the sequence matter. Yes, really it is. So here you can see or in fact, okay, let's suppose that we have written something else as a sequence. Okay, we have written else as a sequence. So here is the example, that is like how we can fix it. Okay, so we have something called as indexing. So indexing is what, it starts with something 0. Okay, okay, so here you can see that how we can write it. So I have declared the same variable here. Okay, 14, quantity is 14, item is 456, and then price is 199.95. my order, I want to pay. Okay, then just look at, okay, what we are doing here. So I just place the same thing, quantity, item number, and price. Okay, I just change the frame, like here sentence is something, here I have changed it. Okay, so what here we have done, I want to pay, and then second position. Okay, second position is what, it's a item number, no sorry, it's a 0, then 1, okay, and then second. Okay, so it's a 0, first and second. So what is the price? So maybe here you can frame the sentence. Let's say I want to pay, then here you are saying that price. Okay, so second is position is this, I want to pay $199.95 for 0 means what, it's a quantity. Okay, it's a quantity. So here the way you have written here, okay, like this, let's say this is 0 is first and second. Okay, it doesn't matter here. Okay, what, like how you are passing the value here, in which order you are passing your things. Okay, so this is the 0th position, this is the first position, and this is the second position. Okay, so let's say this thing is something fixed. Okay, you cannot change, and when you have to use it here, okay, maybe you can pass the sentence, or you can create the sentence like this way. So put your placeholder, and in between you can pass your index value, that's 0, first, second, whatever the index value you have. So always remember that the index starts from 0. Okay, so this is 0, first and second, like that you can make. And then here we have changed the sentence, I want to pay. Okay, I want to pay how much, what is the price? Okay, so just put the price here. So because here you are passing, like this is the second position, okay, 0 first second, okay, you're passing second, dollars for, then quantity, okay, so it is at 0 position, and pieces of item, okay, which is at first position, so item number. So this is the way that you will be executing. Let's see. Okay, so let's see the execution of the program, and here you can see that I want to pay $199.95 for 14 pieces of item 4x6. Okay, so this is the way that you do it. Okay, in a very rare case, maybe you can have this execution of this particular program, which is the format is something that you might be interested to use it at any place. Okay, so this is the example we have for the string. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the next data type, which is a sequence. Okay, which is next data type is what? It's a sequence data type. So let's talk about it. So here the sequence in this particular, we have the list. Okay, we use list a lot. Okay, in case of Python functions, we use the list a lot. So it's a ordered and mutable collection of items. Okay, what is list? It is order means like we have some sequence. Okay, for first, second, third, like that we have some positions. And mutable, what is meant by mutable? So mutable means what? We can change the things. Okay, we can change the things inside your list. Okay, so here we have example. Let's say the square bracket, in a square bracket we do mention the list in this way. Okay, so how we can identify list? So, or how we can declare list? Just mention any variable. Let's say my list. Okay, and is equal to, you'll declare it like a square bracket. Okay, and within the square bracket just mention whatever the list item you have. Okay, so let's say item 1, okay, then item 2, like that you can just declare it. And then it is also having some indexing. Okay, so this is placed at 0 position, this is placed at like first position, like that, like the list can goes on. Okay, and when we say immutable, so when we say mutable means what? Any of the item that we wish to change. Okay, let's say we have to manipulate by doing some operation, we wish to manipulate this particular value. Yes, we can go and do it. All right, great. Now this is the example we have, like 1 2 3 apple, banana, orange. Okay, whatever the list of item you have. Okay, so similar values you can place it together, and that we can call it as a list. Okay, let's see if you have the examples here. Here we have a check, like type check list. Okay, and then we have to learn a lot of things here. Okay, so let's learn it. So the very first thing here, I'm like taking the example that is simple list is equal to red, green, blue, and then we are putting out some number. Okay, so this thing we can call it as a list. Okay, how to identify list? Always remember, started with square brackets, in between we can just put out the items separated by comma. This we called as a list. Okay, now here if you just simply want to print this list, okay, we can go and do it. Okay, so okay, let me do it this way. So I'll just comment out everything. Okay, so I'll just comment out everything, and then we will simply print this particular list. Okay, so simple list is equal to this is something we will be printing. Okay, print, and then we are expecting here this particular output and the type of, okay, what is the type? Okay, is it a string, is it number, what it is? Okay, let's see. So we'll see the type is equal to of this variable, that is simple list. Okay, so I'll save this one, and this is a 05 program, 05 type check list. I'll go and try to execute this program. So I'll check, I'll execute this program, I'll press enter, and here we can see, okay, here we have got the first line as a red, green, blue, 4 5 6. What does it, what it is? It is a simple list which got printed. And second thing, here we have printed what? Print the type of the list. Okay, like what is type? Okay, like we are just like passing the variable, and here you can see that we have got the list. Okay, we have got the list is what here we have found. Okay, the type is what? It's a list format, a data type here we have found. Okay, and then yeah, so this is the way that we can declare the list. Okay, if we wish to refer, okay, if we wish to refer any particular item within a list, okay, so how we can do it? So I already mentioned, like here this is like a 0th position, this is first position, this is the second position, okay, 4th, 5th, 6th, like that we can have it, right? So here 0, first, second, then third, fourth, fifth. Okay, like these are the position we have, and we can mention it the particular list item. Just mention the variable name. Okay, just mention the variable name, and within that you can mention the square bracket, and within that whatever the item you want to refer, you can individually refer that one. Okay, so let's see, here we have the example. Okay, so if I do and try to print, okay, if I do and try to print this particular, so print, and then here this is just for understanding purpose. Okay, like what is the value of this first item. So here this is the message, or this is the string we are writing. Okay, here you can write whatever you wish to. Okay, so let's say the first item, okay, or at first position, this is, or at first index. Okay, for the simple list variable. Okay, or let me do it. Okay, so let's say in a string, okay, you can say the first variable at first, okay, or I can say the at the first index. Okay, at the first index value of the variable which variable? The simple list. Okay, value of the variable simple list is, okay, let's see. So here what I'm doing is I'm simply printing this particular variable, and here I have mentioned the 1 as a index. Okay, so what does it mean? That here this is the 0th position, okay, and this is the first position. Okay, so it's supposed to print the green. Okay, let's see. So I'll save this particular program and we will rerun it. Okay, so you can see at the first index value of the variable simple list is green. Okay, so the green got printed. So like, let's say among you have so many items, and you're trying to refer to any one particular item. So just remember, it's just a square bracket you have to mention, and within the square bracket you will be putting out the variable name. Okay, so you will, sorry, not the variable name, you will be just mentioning out the index position. Okay, and this is the way that we will refer the list item. All right, great. So this is the first way, and then if you are interested here to understand at that particular index position, what is the type of the variable? Okay, what is the type of the variable? So here you can see what it is. So you're referring here the first variable. Okay, like here it is like a 0, it is first position. Okay, and what is green? Green is the string. Okay, so what is the type of the variable? Here you should get it's a string. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we will execute this particular line, and after that we'll see the output. Okay, so I'll save this one, and then I'll execute this one more time, and you can see, okay, after that we can see the type of the variable is string. Okay, great. So when you refer the whole thing, okay, when you try to understand, or when you try to find the type of the whole variable, it is the list. Okay, type of this particular variable is what? It's a list. But when you are referring individually, okay, so it could be the either the string, or here you should get the integer. Okay, let's confirm. So for the next one, okay, for let's say here we try to get the value of the fourth index. Okay, fourth index. At fourth index, what we have is 0, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so we have the value as 5. Okay, now what is 5? 5 is integer. Okay, let's confirm. So here I'm gonna print that particular 5 variable. Okay, by this way, and we're gonna find the type of that particular item. Okay, so here I will save it. Okay, you can see the type of that particular simple list, and then 4 is the index which we have mentioned. I have saved the program. Let's execute it again, and here you can see the integer is the type we have got it. Okay, great. So we are good with this type, understanding the each individual type, right? So here we have a string. Okay, here we have a integer. Okay, so when you find for whole list, okay, so it's supposed to print the list. When you are trying to find out for each, okay, each individual variable could be either string, or you can have as the integer, or it could be let's say the float, okay, so depending on what value you have, right? So great. So this is the way that we have printed. Now if we are trying to find out, okay, let's say from this to this, okay, or let me just comment out this whole thing, or just to avoid the confusion, what I'll do is I'll comment out that portion again, and let's see the example. Okay, so here we are doing what? We are declaring the list, okay, we are declaring the list, and then let's say here we are interested to print the item from the 0 index to the 3rd index, okay. So like that is what here we are interested to do, okay. So we can do it this way. So red and the green should supposed to get printed, means what? At 0 position, what you have is a red, okay, and then you have a at first it is green, okay. So let's print it, okay, let's print it. Okay, let me first of all comment out this one. Okay, I'll just execute the program. Okay, and here you can see the red, green and blue. Okay, so this is the output you should get. I'll just correct here. So here you should get the red, green and blue. Okay, how? I'll explain you one more time. Just give me a second. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are trying to print the item that starts from the 0 to the 3rd position. Okay, so here you can see 0, 1st and 2nd. Okay, so the 3rd, it will not include it 3rd. Okay, it will not include it 3rd. So it will start from 0 to the 3rd. Okay, like before the 3rd only it will get end, and that's what here you can see the red, green and blue got printed. Okay, great. Now this is the way that you're supposed to print. Okay, so 0 to 3 means what? 0th, 1st and 2nd should get printed, and that's what it has printed. Next thing what you have here is that you are trying to find out, let's say after 3, okay, after 3 you wish to print. Okay, so you can see here, so after 3 means what? 0, 1st, 2nd, okay, and then after 3 means 4, 5, 6 it's supposed to print. So you can see here, if I just print, okay, this one, it's supposed to give us the result that is 4, 5, 6. Let's see. Okay, here you can see after 3 when I'm trying to print, so it has included the 3, okay, and then 4, 5, 6. Okay, 4, 5, 6 got printed. So 4, 5, 6 got printed. Okay, so you need to understand, like this is like a range. Okay, this is like a range. So left hand side parameter is always considered. Like when you say 0, okay, so here in this case also the 0 is considered, but for right hand side, okay, it's gonna be the like a -1. So when you say all the items from the 3, okay, so after 3 all the items when you have to print, so you can do it something like the 3 and then you just say colon, and after that just keep it a blank, and then it's supposed to print all the items after 3. Okay, and here in this case you have printed the 4, 5, 6. Great. Okay, then we said something like here one statement, and then what is that? So here you said that the mutable connection. Okay, what is meant by mutable? That we are allowed to change the value of this items. Okay, so by any chance that let's say you wish to change the any value, okay, you can do it. So let me just comment this code again, and now here let's try to change. Okay, so okay, let's change the value. So changing the value of the item, so let's say we are interested to change any value. So how we can do it? Simply take the item, okay, each individual item, and whatever the value you have to give it, just provide that one. Okay, so here in this case, okay, we are doing what? We are changing the value at 2. Okay, so whatever the index we have at index 2 position, whatever the item we have, okay, so that will simply get replaced by the integer 3. Let's confirm. So here we have the example. Okay, so this is 0 position, this is the first position, this is the second position. Okay, so we have here a blue keyword. Okay, we have here the blue word. Now that blue word is something will get replaced here by the integer 3, and we will try to print that particular variable again. that is a list variable, again we'll print it. Let's see what is output here we get. Okay, so here I'll do what, I'll just uncomment this one. Okay, and I'll save it. Okay, I'll save it, and let me here print this particular thing. And yes, you can see here that value did change. Okay, value did change, and the variable here we have got it, the 3. Okay, let me explain here again one more time, or maybe may looks little confusing, but it's really not. Okay, let me explain it maybe on the paint. Okay, so here you can just think about that we have some list. Okay, how we can declare the list? Okay, you can just say any variable name. Okay, just declare any variable name is equal to, okay, just mention the square bracket, and within the square bracket you can place the items. Okay, let's say here item 1, okay, you have placed. Okay, or let's say if you have the integers you have placed, so let's say 2, 3, 4, and then let's say here you have placed one more item 2. Okay, so like that you have placed something in the list. Now you wish to alter the any item. Okay, like this particular thing you want to modify. Okay, let's say here instead of 2 you wish to have 5. Okay, just imagine that this instead of this 2 you wish to have the 5 as an integer. Okay, what you can do, you can just mention, now this is the 0th position. Okay, this is the first position. Okay, this is the second position. Like that we have all the positioning set. What you can do is you can just take the each individual item, how we can refer. So just say whatever your variable name is. Okay, just mention a variable name, and just inside square bracket. Okay, inside a square bracket just include that particular position. Let's say here we were interested in this 2 variable, so it is having the position as 1. Okay, so just mention 1. Okay, now variable 1 means what? This is nothing but it's a 2. Okay, if I wish to alter it, just declare this variable with as per your choice name. Okay, let's say here we are interested to change this value as with 5, so just do it like this way. And after that, if I print, okay, if I print here the variable name like this, var name, it's supposed to print me the result, that is the item 1. Then here it's supposed to give me the result like this way. Okay, item 1. Okay, then here instead of 2 I supposed to get 5, then 3, 4, and then item 2. Okay, like that it's supposed to print the result. So this is the way that we can manipulate the list. Okay, and we can do a lot of operations on the list. Okay, so this list is what, this list on top of the list. Okay, we can do a lot of different operations. So this is the example we have. Okay, this is one of the example we have. So let's go ahead. Okay, and I hope here at this point you might have understood this example. Okay, let me just erase little bit, and we'll go for the next. Okay, so after understanding how we can manipulate, let's see what's the next thing we can do. So if we are interested to get the last value of the list, okay, and then we are not sure how the big list is and exactly, you know, so but let's say we are interested to understand what is the last item we have, okay, in the list. You can just do it like this way, just mention the -1. Okay, so -1 means what, the last item. Okay, the -1 means what, this is the last item you have, -2 is this one. Okay, like that you can just go the reverse way also, but if you are interested to find out the last item, just you can say the -1. So maybe here I'll just like uncomment this one, and I'll just execute this script for you to give the understanding. Here you can see the simple list -1 item, you can have it as the last, whatever the last item you have, so that particular thing here got printed. Okay, so great. So this is the way that we can print the last value. So if you wish to refer the last item in the list, okay, so just you can just refer with the index value, that is -1. Great. So maybe I'll just comment this whole thing because we are already done, and I hope you have understood it. So next thing we can add the value to the list. We can also add the value to the list. So how you can do that one? So just say simple list dot insert. Okay, and at the 6th position, okay, at the 6th position you can mention whichever the variable type, whichever the string or whichever the value you wish to add. Okay, so we can add the item like this way. Okay, just mention your index position. You can just mention the index position. So from 0, 1st, 2nd, 4th, like that, you are saying that at 6th position. okay, at sixth position you are adding this one. So let me just uncomment this one and let's see, okay, what the new output here we're getting. So here we are saying new item added to list. So on the sixth position on the sixth position we're supposed to see this value. Okay, so I'll just say save this one and let's execute. Okay, let's execute this particular program, and here we can see that after, so just look at the position, okay, the 0, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, oh sorry, 0, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. On the 6th position you can see the new value that is in string format, it got added here. Okay, so this is the way that we can add or we can insert any value. We can insert any value like this way, and here we have inserted the new value at the 6th position. So great, right? So here we are done with the inserting the value. Okay, we can simply remove also. Okay, so any value we wish to remove, okay, just say it like that way, that the simple list dot remove, and mention your string. Okay, like item by value also we can remove, or we can remove it with the index also. Okay, so as per your choice. So here you can say the new value you wish to say the value. Okay, like the what is the value, so it's a new value. So on the 6th position you have this after this 6, okay, you have this new value you have inserted. So if you wish to remove it, okay, you can simply remove it like this way. So let me uncomment, and if I go and try to remove it, okay, so I'll press it, I'll just enter it. Okay, and here you can see the one item removed from the list. Okay, and then here we have removed this particular value which we recently added. Okay, so here with the value, okay, with the value we have removed this. So it is one of the one more method we have. Okay, so this is the method we have. So yes, we are done with the execution of this this method, that is remove. Okay, dot remove is we can use it. So by value we can remove it. Okay, then if we wish to remove any value by the item index. Okay, so here index means what, on the 0th position whatever is there, just remove it. On the 5th position whatever it is, just remove it. Okay, so that is something also we can do it. Okay, so in that case we have to use the dot pop. Okay, so just understand the difference. Dot remove we can use it for the value purpose. Okay, like on the basis by having the value. Okay, by having the value, if we wish to remove your items, okay, so in that case we're gonna use the remove remove method. Okay, in the case where we have to remove the item on the basis on the index, okay, so in that case we'll be using the pop method. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute this one. So here you guys know on till here, okay, this is what the output we have. And on the 2nd position, what is the item we have? So this is 0, 1st and 2nd. Okay, so blue word supposed to be removed from here. Okay, let's confirm. So here I'll go and execute this particular script, and here you can see that red, green got printed, and then 4, 5, 6 got printed, but blue word is removed. Why? Because we have said here removed. Okay, like removed means dot pop is to remove that particular value. Whatever index position here we have mentioned, that value will get removed. Okay, so yes, this is the way that we can remove the index. Okay, fine. Now next thing here we are doing what, we can run the loop on the list also. Okay, like we can take each list. Okay, and this is the list. Okay, and this is the, so okay, maybe this is not a good position to talk about the loop, because in upcoming session, okay, we have to discuss the loop in a detailed manner. But just for understanding purpose, okay, what I can here at this moment just try to understand it this way. We are taking the for loop. Okay, this is some variable we can declare as per our choice. Okay, and in what, this list. Okay, here we can write the list, and within that list we can run the loop. Okay, so it's supposed to take each item, okay, every single time. So the print x means what, x is nothing but whatever the items here we have. Okay, so for the very first time it will take simple first item and it will do the execution. It will go and take the next item. Okay, it will do the execution like that. It's supposed to print all the item on the new line. Okay, so that's something it's supposed to give it. Now even if you don't understand this particular thing, the loop, okay, that's absolutely fine, because we have to understand the loops ahead, and then once we have understood it, okay, then it will even in fact it will make more sense after talking about the loops. Okay, so here you can see the one by one the all the items got printed. Okay, so this is the way that we can also run the loop over the list. Okay, and yes, we do run a lot. Okay, so when we will talk about the for loops, okay, so here we have to talk about the for loops. Here you can see we have the further program, so at that time it will make more sense for us to talk about it. Okay, so fine, so this is about the list we have. Okay, so yes, all right.